Hello, my lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. A heartfelt welcome to all of you. So, we will resume our course from where we left off yesterday. Hopefully, you all enjoyed yesterday's video. Stay tuned for the upcoming chapter. So, let's get started. But before we begin, if you are new to this channel, make sure to like and subscribe. I will also share the link to yesterday's video in the description so you can check it out. Alright, let's start from here today. Sort your cards in order, beginning with the major arcana and then transitioning into the minor arcana. Check to be sure the deck is still complete. As you briefly glance at each card and focus on its special meaning. Once you have completed this task, start to shuffle them in whichever way feels right for you, explaining the negative energy and drawing in the positive. This technique works well between readings or when you need to cleanse your cards but do not have an abundance of time. Next is meditation. Hold your cards with both hands, close your eyes, and clean your mind of any thoughts. Use this time to just be with your cards, visualizing the universe energy flowing through you and into the card. Some people use the imagery of protective white light surrounding the cards and casting out any dark energy. This is a great technique to use if you need to refocus yourself as well as cleanse your cards. If you have not used your deck in a while, this method often helps people rediscover the original connection they had with their cards. Okay, next is the minor arcana. The suit of cup is one of the four suits of the minor arcana. It contains 14 cards, including an ace and court card. Traditionally speaking, the suit represented the clergy or the first estate. This suit is also referred to as corpus in Spain, cop in Italy, and the suit of goblets. In tarot, the minor arcana helps reader gain a greater understanding of the cards drawn in a spread. Most of the attention fall on the major arcana, but the minor arcana represent a day-to-day events and often provides context. Most tarot decks contain illustrated card with the type of illustration depending on the type of deck you are using. For example, in deck Best Rider-Waite tarot card, both the major and minor arcana are illustrated. In non-illustrated decks, the number of the cups is represented by pips. Next is about the suit of cups. This particular suit is strongly tied to matters of the soul, intimate relationship, and the emotional state of the querent. When these cards come up in readings, it is a sign to focus on the hopes, dreams, intuition, and inner feelings of the querent. These cards tend to reveal how we feel about life and how other feels about us. The suit of cup can help a querent reflect on their hopes and dreams, revealing hidden joy or quiet depression depending on the situation. The cups card contain a few of the more fortunate card in the tarot deck. However, when those cards come up, when the current is feeling confused, desperate, or uncertain, they may indicate that some introspection or an objective perspective perspective is required. The associated element, the main element associated with the cups card is water. Regardless of which particular card appear in your spread, the presence of cups card means that the querent need to learn how to go with the flow, finding happiness and comfort wherever possible. Next is astrological signs. The cups card are associated primarily with water signs such as Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. In addition to having strong ties to a person's emotions and emotional flexibility, this card also often have a spiritual or religious connection. So the next is general information. When cups cards show up in your spread, they mean you should examine the emotional state of your current. They often represent an emotion issue, a situation dealing with matters of the heart, or another event that deeply affect the current. Make sure you treat the situation with delicacy and provide as much context as possible. So, the true positive message of the cup comes across. The cups card can also mean that the current is thinking with their heart more than their head, with emotional replacing logical reflection. So, next is browse for alternate deck. Most beginners have a deck based on the Rider Waite deck. This is ideal as the deck is pretty much universal and easy to interpret. Take some time and to get look at non-traditional and alternate deck. Both those based on Rider deck design and others. Familiar yourself with the main differences between the decks, making notes in your tarot journal as you shop around. When you become more advanced in your reading, you may wish to revisit the list to find a more challenging or visually appealing deck. Next is the number cards. These cards are the ones numbered Ace to 10 in your deck. At first glance, they may seem to carry less meaning than the face cards or the major arcana, but be sure to avoid discounting their importance. This card can help you find context or a bigger meaning to the major arcana cards. They can also help reader relate certain card to a specific question posed by the querent. Next is Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is known as the Holy Grail. This card usually depicts an ornate cup floating on water, with the phases of the moon depicted in the heavens. The image symbolizes the recog- recognition that love and compassion can fill the human soul on every level. This card represents new beginnings, typically the start of a new relationship or the beginning of new phase in a pre-existing relationship. Since water may mean the welcoming of a child or another being to be cherished. The Ace of Cups tend to reflect receptiveness, nurturing, and the nurturing, not nurturing, I'm sorry, it's nurturing, and the ability to give life. This card is frequently known as the Holy Grail card because it represents a person's ability to obtain what they seek, whether it be romantic love or spiritual alignment. Next is Two of Cups. This card represents a passion that is brighter than the initial honeymoon phase of a relationship. When this card appears in a spread, it means that two people are bonded together in such a way that they cannot imagine life without the other. The Two of Cups is especially women after quarrels or fights between lover or family members, as it can help guide the querent to feeling of reconciliation and forgiveness. Next is Three of Cups. The Three of Cups typically depict three maidens dancing, surrounded by light. In the gilded deck, they are dressed in colors representing the elements. The foreground depicts two cups pouring water into their third, representing the third energy created by the first two. Water symbolizes emotion, with the cups representing the human experience. When this card is drawn, it means that the querent is experiencing an overflow of emotion. This card tends to appear in relation to romantic questions and indicate emotional happiness, abundance, and achievements. Quite often, it predicts celebration with family and friends, such as christenings or weddings, something like that. Next is Four of Cups. Illustrated card based on the Rider Waite deck typically dip three cups standing upright, with the fourth being offered from the cloud to a young man or youth. He is usually disinterested in this offering, lost in his own thoughts. The Four of Cups represent indifference and boredom. If it is with other cards that reflect turmoil, it may represent a state of emotional discomfort with or without an external causes. The card cautions the querent against missed opportunities, invitations, or adventures. When a person is feeling disconnected from life, they often miss out on all it has to offer. If this card shows up in your spread, make sure you warn them not to reject invitation simply because of their mood. Next is Five of Cups. The Five of Cups typically depict a knight in a state of anguish or dejection with a lowered head. Three of the five cups are typically lying on the ground, spilling their contents. The other two still stand upright but are behind him, escaping his notice. This card represents instability and change. Its presence in a spread may cause some alarm for the querent, as it means there are feeling of disappointment, betrayal, or rejections. These feelings may be due to the action of the querent or by somebody else. Regardless of their cause, they are now clouding the querent judgment, making it impossible to accurately assess the situation. The three cups before the knight indicate disappointment, but there are still two upright ones behind him. Next is Six of Cups. This card usually depicts children playing in a meadow surrounded by cups filled with flower or bright foliage. Six is the number of balance and harmony, and the children on the card represent happy memories of the past. When this card appears in your spread, it means that a person or event from the past is returning. It could be a physical presence, the revival of a relationship, or even the return of an emotional state of being. However, the past returns, it is a welcome one, bringing joy and happiness to current. The card can also represent feeling of nostalgia or of being stuck in the past, unable to move ahead. Even if that is the case, the Six of Cups also represent hope and the ability to move forward. By focusing on your future prospect, a querent can move forward. Make sure you read this card in context with others to get the most accurate meaning. Next is Seven of Cups. Each of the seven cups depicted on this card typically contains a different and interesting treasure. They sit atop or among clouds, skimming the water. The cloud represent the subconscious hope, desire and wishes of the querent. The water represent their emotional state. The Seven of Cups typically appear when a querent need make a decision in a situation where several different choices are available. This can lead to feeling of indecision as the sheer number of options become overwhelming. When you see this card appear in a querent spread, try to help them see the situation from a balanced and practical perspective, looking at each option critically and weighing the pros and cons carefully. Spread Spreads often contain this card when a person has question about career options or is feeling lost and in need of direction. Next is Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is one of the saddest looking card in most Rider-Waite inspired decks, but does not always indicate sorrow or a lonely state of mind. It typically despite a figure with its back turned into the viewer. Eight cups, once carefully stacked and now in a state of disarray, sit in the foreground. The figure is standing upright, not appearing to be sad or dejected. Instead, they look ready to take off, leaving the empty cups behind. Most decks also depict a full moon in the background, representing the current inner voice and subconscious mind. So, next is Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is one of the happiest. They depicts a joyous innkeeper greeting and saluting the viewer with a cup, presumably filled with wine or ale. The other 8 cups are neatly stacked before him, representing abundance and cheer. Many readers refer to this card as the wish card, as it often represents the fulfillment of an important wish or desire. The Nine of Cups can represent positive news for a person's career, home life, or romantic relationship. When it appears in a spread, it means that the current feel happy, content, and pleased. It may also indicate upcoming emotional and material fulfillment, or sensual pleasure and abundance of affection. So, the next is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups represent harmony, peace, and stability. In the gilded deck, a loving family is depicted in front of a charming cottage with 10 cups dancing on a rainbow in the sky. It is meant to inspire feelings of joy, love, and stability. The Nine of Cups certainly indicates an abundance of romance and bliss. This card takes those feelings one step further and adds a sense of uh, permanence and stability. When it appears in response to a romantic question, it indicates that the parent has or may soon find the perfect realization of emotional, romantic, and physical love. Of all the cards in suit of cup, this one represents the promises of lasting success, committed love, and contentment the most. The Ten of Cups frequently appear in readings where marriage is in the current's future. Fact is, tarot reading using a traditional deck of card replace cup with the heart. So, okay, my lovely people, that's all for today. Hopefully, you found this video and the information useful. Today, we covered the meaning of the minor arcana. Tomorrow, we will be back with more informative videos. Until then, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Take care of your health and give yourself lots of love. Bye, my lovely people. Love you guys.